Hi YouTube, it's Princess Diamond. Welcome back to my channel. Today we're doing crochet using this feather crochet hair, and I'll explain that here in a second. But I've used feather crochet hair before, but this time around I'm going to try to blend it to make it look more natural. So the hair that I'm using is from Hergivenhair, and again, this is their feather crochet hair. The texture is curly 3B to 3C. They do offer other textures as well. I'll drop a link to the hair down in the description if you're interested in checking it out, or the other textures that they offer. I was not a fan of the ring that the hair was placed on. It was not the easiest thing to remove the hair from. I felt like it kept getting snagged, and you have to be very careful to not rip the string that this hair is on, because then you're not able to do the crochet if the string breaks. So I did not like that. Other than that, no complaints with the hair. It's human hair, so we love that. It can be taken down, washed, and reused. So I'm starting out with sectioning just the front side of her hair. I'm going to do some braids going straight back just in this front section right here. So we did a couple braids in the front, going straight back. Then for the rest of her hair, I'm going to braid the hair in like a beehive circle, and I'm just, as I'm braiding, connecting all of the braids that I did in the front. But this is the braid pattern, so basically all of the braids were braided into one little braid there in the very center, and then that braid was just tucked underneath all of the other braids. So this is the feather crochet hair, and you can see that the hair on both sides, it's basically attached to a string, a small string in the center, and that just helps when you're crocheting the hair and creating the knot. It's not going to slip out. Also reduces the amount of hair that you're losing just throughout the crochet style. It's just a lot simpler and neater, and you don't lose hair. So I really like this feather crochet hair, and I think it's very easy and simple to install. I also like the way Hergivenhair, their string in the center is not very long, so it makes it to where when you're crocheting in the hair, you don't have a lot of that string showing, just to give it a more natural look. Now in the front, because the braids are a little bit smaller, you can see the string. So again, that's where we're going to try to blend this. So as you guys can see, I'm using my crochet hook, and I'm going underneath the entire braid in the front, or at least most of the braid, all the way to the front, and then I'm attaching the hair onto the crochet hook and pulling that crochet hair from underneath the braid all the way through the other side. And so now I'm just using the crochet hook, and I'm just going to basically take that end of the braid, or sorry, that end of the hair, and I'm going to wrap it back around so that way it comes back out in the front where the other side of that hair is. I'm going to show it again, but this is something that's best to watch and maybe do it as you're watching and learning. So again, taking the crochet hook, I'm going to put it straight underneath the braid all the way to the front of the braid and attach the crochet hair to it. And then I'm going to pull it all the way through to the other side, so both sides is underneath, coming from underneath the braid. Then I'm going to take that one end in the back, and I'm going to start to wrap that around so that it can start coming back to the front. So I'm crocheting it in, going back to the front. And I want it to fall exactly where the front end of the hair is laying. So I'm putting it in the same area, the same section where that front end is coming out of or from. And as you can see, when I put it back, this is just going to help it look more natural, as well as hide the string part of the crochet hair. So I'm going to do the same thing for every braid in this front section. And I'm only doing one string of the crochet hair in the front section of each braid. So you only need to do this one time in this very front section. Now once I do all of the braids like this, then I'm going to go back and continue to crochet in the hair just as normal, like how I was doing in the back. But you'll see it here in a second. You do want to do this technique first though for all of the braids in this front section before you go back to doing the regular crochet technique. meaning you don't want to go back and forth doing the new technique and back to doing this technique, because you just want to get the first one done in the entire front of her head. So as you can see, now I'm going back into doing just the regular crochet method. I do also want to say I did not create this new crochet technique. I have seen it done several times, so I'm not sure who the original creator of the technique is. However, I myself was confused on how it was done, so I did want to show a video, a more detailed video for anyone else who was, or just a way to be able to hide that feathered hair, because I know when I used it the first time, although I do like the fact that the hair has a string, it just makes it a lot easier to crochet the hair. I wasn't a fan of the string showing, right? So as you can see in the front, you don't see the string. However, you still get the effects or the benefits of using the string. So now I'm going into trying to blend it a little bit more. So right now I'm just using a razor very lightly, very lightly, okay? Using this razor in the front section, and then I'm going to go in with a fine-tooth comb, and then I'm going to tease the hair. Now what I mean by teasing the hair is I'm taking, again, the end of that fine-tooth comb, and I am combing back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. As you can see, my comb does not come out of the hair. I'm keeping it in the hair, and I am just moving it up and down, up and down, up and down. Kind of think of it like you're messing up the hair, like you're trying to get it to be rough, right? So I'm just going to continue to do that, taking my time, and I'm going through it in sections, little sections at a time. So this is the first section, and you can already tell that it's blending the hair very well. I think this is a great way to blend this hair, to be able to use the feather hair, not see the strings in the front, blend the hair with the natural hair, and also not have to have any of your natural hair left out. Because I feel like when you're doing a protective style, right, the whole point is to protect your hair. So you want to try to minimize leave outs, right? So my client's hair texture is not 3B to 3C, but we were still able to get this to blend and look very natural. Look at it in the front, guys. Look at it in the front. It just looks so natural, even though this is crochet. And even though this crochet hair has a string attached to it, by looking at it in the front, you cannot tell. And of course, you can do the same thing around the entire perimeter of the head. So you can do the same thing to the sides and the back if you wanted to wear this up in a bun or style it. However, we're just doing it in the front. She's not going to put this up or anything like that, but this is just a really good technique I think you guys can try. Let me know what you guys think. Drop some comments down in the comments below. I did go through it again just to, make it look as natural as possible. So I really did take my time going through it, but this is what it's looking like. Leave some comments for me down below. If you liked this video, if it was helpful, please give it a thumbs up. I really appreciate you guys. And thank you so much for watching. I'll talk to you guys in my next one. As always, I hope you guys be blessed. Stay protected. Stay filled with love and peace.